The Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists honors Ed Bradley with its 2014 Trailblazer Award.
Tonight, we remember Ed the way we think he'd want us to, as a dedicated reporter who represented the highest standards of this craft, a man who inspired a whole generation of journalists with a calm elegance that was never an act. He was the genuine article.
I can remember a nun I had in school telling me, you can be whatever you want to be. And I believed her. You know, against all the odds then, I mean, thinking of what segregation was about. And I mean, I went to school for poor children. But someone who told me you can be whatever you want to be. And I believed her.
He went to historically black Cheney State College to become a teacher. But even then, he loved jazz. And soon he was moonlighting as a disc jockey on a Philadelphia station for free.
I would say, good evening and welcome to the sound of modern music. I'm your host, Little Jazz Bo, Ed Bradley.
He finally quit teaching and went to work at WCBS Radio in New York. After 4 years covering local stories, he went to Paris. After Paris, he went to Vietnam. That's where he became a reporter. CBS News hired him in 1972, and he volunteered to go to Saigon to cover the war for the evening news.
While in the capitals there may be talk of ceasefire and ceasefire violations, out here there's just a continuing war.
I got to be a war correspondent. I got to go to a place where there was no assignment desk where you could do, where the bureau chief would say, you know, why don't you go over to Cambodia, see what's going on.
Ed may not have shown his fear in battle, but that doesn't mean he didn't feel it.
Well, we're walking across this rice paddy. There must have been a half a dozen Viet Cong. I hear these guys talking on either side. How can they not see me? You talk about scared. I was petrified. I said, if I ever get out of this, I said, please, Lord, just let me, I'll never do anything like this again in my life. Of course, I got out of it, and of course you did it the next time.
After his war zone reporting, CBS rewarded him with a high-profile assignment in the 1976 election.
Jimmy Carter is way out front in the delegate count.
He became the first black White House television correspondent and anchored his own news broadcast.
News with Ed Bradley.
Good evening.
The White House was supposed to be the best job in the business, but Ed chafed at being locked inside the press room day after day in a suit and tie.
I went to the White House every day. I never went anywhere unless the president went somewhere.
CBS reports with Ed Bradley.
They come ashore at the rate of $10,000 a month.
He got really involved while reporting on the boat people who were fleeing from Vietnam 3 years after the American withdrawal.
Only a few fishermen helped the boat people ashore. We joined in.
Ed didn't like classical music that much, so when he went to Shanghai for a program on the Boston Symphony's tour of China, what he really wanted to do was meet some ordinary people.
Can you talk to me about the politics, about the Gang of Four?
Well, what's your name?
My name is Ed Bradley.
Bradley. My name is Seng Xin Chang.
Hey, what's up, girlfriend?
When he would return to his old neighborhood in West Philly, he would tell people there that he never quite believed what his life had turned into.
There was a picture in my office. I remember standing in the Khyber Pass and thinking, would you believe this? Little Butch Bradley from West Philly standing in the Khyber. Alexander the Great came through here. Probably stood right here and looked at this view. And here's little Butch Bradley from West Philly. I mean, that was wonderful. That made it worth everything.
Ed Bradley, Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists 2014 Trailblazer Award honoree.